Hi, welcome to Truth with Tal and Isaac. I'm Tal.
I'm Isaac.
Big Al, welcome back to the show. Thanks for coming out.
Welcome back, Al.
Thanks for having me, guys. Good to be back.
Episode number 101. That was a little loud, sorry. NFL draft discussion about the Lions, and then the rest of the NFL, NBA playoffs, bit of round 2 recap, and then, round 1 recap and round 2 breakdown. Off the top.
Yep. Hockey. I'll let you guys get...
Overtime in hockey is awesome.
Yeah.
It's super exciting. And then when you get Game 7 overtime, unbelievable. We're obviously not huge hockey fans. I'm a little bit more than Isaac. Al's more than me. The Bruins loss to the Panthers, that's one of the biggest upsets in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
Okay, break it down. Al, I watched about 8 minutes of the third period and some of overtime. And then I watched some of the Leafs. So my knowledge is very limited. I'm happy for the Leafs fans. But Al, you can break down your hockey expertise. Go ahead.
Well, I remember watching Game 6, Boston and Florida, and Boston was up, I think, 2 goals in the third period, or it might have been 1.
I think it was 3-1.
Yeah, and I think Pasternak actually had a breakaway on goal, and the goalie saved it. And I was watching with my dad, and I said, that might have saved them the game. Turns out it did. Florida goes on to win that game.
Saved them the series.
Yeah, and it saves their season, and now they go to Game 7 and they
Krejci
win. Yeah.
and Bergeron might be done, right?
Yeah,
I did see that.
Some of that. Yeah.
L Boston, we can't say that. Dad, would you say that we're smoking on Boston's pack?
Yes, I don't really know what that means, but if it's L Boston, I concur.
Yeah, that's no cap right there, Dad. Good job.
Thank you.
Anything about the Leafs? Do you want to delve into the Leafs before we talk about better sports?
Good luck. They won a series for the first time in about 20 years.
About time.
Just what every Leafs fan is planning their parade route and how they're going to make it up to Toronto, and it's great for them. It does open up a little bit for them because now they play Florida, so they should make it to the conference finals.
Yeah, hopefully.
Al and I were just talking. The Leafs have tied for the best odds to win it all. So the Leafs and Oilers are right there.
Leafs. We got a lot of Leafs fans that are fans of the show, and we got our family of the Coachimilas that are huge Oilers fans. Shout out to Big T for staying up to watch the overtime win the other day.
That's our cousin who's not old enough to stay up to super late games. Good job to the Leafs. Good job to the Oilers. Good job playoff hockey. Playoff hockey, excellent product. Great work. I have no further hockey talk.
Yeah, no.
That's enough.
Okay.
Tigers are terrible. Cheap seats. We're going Wednesday night. We'll probably drop the show on Wednesday. So if you want to listen to the show and then meet us at the game, you're welcome to. We'll be one of about 400 other fans there.
Correct. Go Tigers. Lots of losses. Anything else off the top?
Yeah. GATL, the Greater Amherstburg Tennis League. Isaac and I are doubles partners. We've been working on our serves. We've been working on a game the weekend. We had a good practice session. It was good.
We don't really know what we're doing.
No.
Like, for example, I'll break this down, and Al, as a hooper, you can probably talk about this. When someone calls mine, when someone says the word mine, you back off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Dad, can you explain your definition of yelling the word mine on a tennis court?
Well, we both yelled mine.
Who yelled it second? Who yelled it second? You did.
I did, but
so
I was
heard
already
mine and
moving that way. And when you're as physically imposing as myself, once I get rolling into that backhand, it's tough to stop. So I did take it over. I poached a little bit, and then I hit it wide. So we got to work on the mine.
And we don't know how to serve.
Mine down the middle.
We don't know how to serve, so we have to learn.
I did a good kick serve session with Stu on Saturday. I think I'm looking good.
Okay, I don't know how to serve, but we'll keep the fans posted on tennis.
Tell you what, we're going to return a lot of balls. We're not going to be easy to play.
Oh, I'm going to be bloody after probably 60% of our matches, and I'm there for that, and I'm ready. Respectfully to the other tennis.
Shout out Bill Segrist.
Okay, shout out Bill Segrist. Any other tennis thoughts?
Nope.
Okay, can we talk about the Lions draft?
We can, yes.
That works for me, yeah.
Okay, so Al knows a lot more about this stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to say the player. Al, do you want to educate us a little bit? And then Dad and I, we can give our poor takes. Fair?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. First round, traded back to 12. Picked running back Jahmyr Gibbs, a.k.a. Alvin Kamara. Al, go ahead. Talk about Jahmyr Gibbs and why we should be happy.
So, Jahmyr Gibbs, don't get me wrong, the guy is a great player. And I understand, some of the frustration with the Lions fans and the spot that they took him and positional value that a running back has or lack thereof. But the guy was a game breaker at Alabama. He was the reason why their offense did stay afloat at times. He was more of
they didn't have a lot of wide receivers.
No, they didn't. And he was basically a slot receiver for them at times. The guy has game-breaking speed. He's elusive. Like, you cannot tackle him in the open field. So, especially with the Swift trade, him and Montgomery could prove to be a good backfield duo. I don't know. I'm still iffy about the pick.
Give us a grade.
That's stupid. Draft grades are dumb. Al, do you agree with me?
I mean, I don't hate draft grades. It's just I'll give it a B-.
Okay. I'm going to echo Al's thoughts. Good player. He's going to make a lot of dynamic plays. A bit of a reach. Overall, I think the Lions decided we are going to kind of ignore the positional value rankings for the first round and get guys that we need that we think will have a significant impact this coming season.
Okay.
Obviously, there's a
jump in.
linebacker and running back.
We're not there yet, respectfully. I will say, shout out to Mancini's. They had us for the draft party. A lot of Lions fans. And I think I don't love the pick. Positional value, Al, thank you for saying that, because that's my biggest takeaway here.
It's kind of our theme.
It's the theme of the episode. Running backs typically aren't first-round guys. And those that are expected to be, like, best player on the team, right? You're looking at Saquon Barkley. You're looking at Bijan, who was no doubt the best running back in the draft class, probably the best of the past few years, correct, Al?
Drafted 8, and people criticized Atlanta for drafting him that high.
Yeah. And I think, that's a whole different thing, because Atlanta just likes to draft big, athletic, fun names and not really work on, like, actual important parts of football, like
a quarterback.
Lines, or a quarterback would be good for Atlanta, but whatever. I like the pick. I think this guy's awesome. Like, just watch, like, if I was a little upset, and I'm like, you know what, let me watch 3 minutes of him run around, and like,
then you were excited after that.
And he's so good. So, he's going to be a lot of fun. I don't love going 12 here, so I'm kind of with you guys there. Let's talk about 18, linebacker, Jack Campbell. Al, do we like this pick?
I don't mind the pick again. It's just, even then, like, positional value again, linebackers typically don't go that high, again, unless they're...
Off-the-ball linebackers don't go that high.
Yeah, exactly. Like a Ray Lewis type player, He was the defensive anchor at Iowa, and he did win Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. You can't take anything away from him, but like I said, I know the Lions did lack linebacker depth. It's just, I don't know if that might have been a reach again. So.
I think it was a reach for sure, right? Like, Gibbs was probably, and now it's tough to say because we're just looking at mocks here. From my understanding, looked like Gibbs was going in the late 20s.
Right.
I heard some rumors that Gibbs was actually going to get picked on the team in the teens.
By the Jets, right?
Yeah, or Patriots. But I read nothing and have seen nothing that Campbell was going to be picked in the first round.
Yeah.
Campbell, from everything I saw, was like nowhere above 40 on a lot of draft boards. Is kind of the number.
I saw a couple in the 30s.
You're probably wrong, respectfully.
I'm probably right.
Okay, fair. Look, I don't love it. Positional value, again, a key value with our first 2 picks here. It's unfortunate. I think this kid's great. He can move. He looks like he can't move, respectfully, but he can.
We're going to change the direction. We're going to jump into round 2 because there's more happy faces in round 2.
Okay, 34 overall. Tight end, Sam Laporta. Al, where are we at with this pick?
I don't mind this pick as much. We did need like a true number 1 tight end, like Shane Zylstra and who's the other guy?
Well, they had Brock Wright and then
Brock
James
Wright.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to jump in. I don't think we needed a true number 1 tight end. I might be wrong. Dad, we talked about this a lot with the Hawkinson trade. I was fine with just this rotating group of just guys.
They did just fine. They did fine to fill the void that Hawkinson left. Like, Zylstra had that, or was it Wright that had that 51-yard touchdown?
Right.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It's just Sam Laporta. I remember watching the Michigan game against Iowa. He kind of torched us in the second half, to be honest. That guy, he has elite speed for a tight end.
Yep.
And he doesn't look like it, but respectfully, yes. Dad, go ahead.
I think the Lions probably panicked a little bit because of the 6-game suspension for Williams, and decided, okay, we need to either draft a tight end or a wide receiver earlier than we had planned, and went tight end because that's a bigger hole.
So before we move on, Michael Mayer, big name, Notre Dame guy.
Tight end guy, but it's not a good blocker.
Is that the only reason we picked Laporta? Because this is Al where you jump in. Do you like Mayer or Laporta more?
If it depends what you need, because Laporta is a better blocker and I would say more well-rounded. But Mayer is definitely the better pass catcher. He is a little soft, though, I would have to say.
Like mentally soft?
No, physically. Like,
okay.
He
injuries and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, with the hangnail?
Well, he did play for
Notre Dame. He went to Notre Dame, so he's
he
got
went to Notre
soft.
Dame, exactly.
Okay, get it.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Rudy was the last tough guy that went to Notre Dame. Respectfully. Anything else on Laporta, Dad? Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Now, this is the consensus. Like, everybody's happy with this pick. Brian Branch, at 45th overall.
W.
Do we all love this?
Yep.
And I don't know a ton, but I know this guy was mocked to go like mid-first, late-first, right?
Slot corner, safety. He's great. Too deep.
Do everything.
Tampa 2. He can do everything.
Al, you love it?
Yeah,
You can honestly bring him close to the line of scrimmage too.
He did that a lot of times at Alabama. He was projected to go like in the 20s to like I saw Dallas was interested in him. I don't know why he fell, but I'm not complaining. The fact that we got him at 45, the guy can play safety, he can play corner, he can play slot corner. He's very versatile.
Okay, let's talk about another guy who fell a bit. 68 overall, the big pick, Hendon Hooker, quarterback, Tennessee. I'll just say off the bat, I was very happy with this. It's low risk, high reward. It's kind of how we all agreed there. And then the people that are upset about it because he's old or whatever. Did you have another guy that you really liked at 68? No, you probably didn't. So I'm fine going with Hooker here because he might turn into something. He might be a backup. He might be really good, and he might not be that great. He's a third-round pick. Tal, Al, chime in, fellas. What do you got?
Go ahead, Al.
I mean, I didn't mind it either. I saw a lot of Lions fans were just kind of like, what the heck? Like, why did we do it? I don't mind it. Like Isaac said, it's a low risk, high reward. The guy was a Heisman He was the Heisman favorite until he tore his ACL. He put up 51 points against
right
Alabama.
there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I said, I don't mind it. The age doesn't really bother me for a backup. He's not, our franchise quarterback.
That's the age I agree with.
Yeah, if he's a first-round quarterback, it'd be different. But I agree with what you guys said. This is a great long-term pick. All the picks that they did this year were pretty much win now, except for their backup quarterback. Listen, if Goff goes out, we're not doing much this year anyways. Now, if Goff goes out in game 10, we have a shot.
Yeah. I think, and also one thing to add is looking at the Lions' picks, I saw that there was a common theme with all their picks, and it was the relative athletic score. And all of the Lions' picks that they had were really high up in the score. Like, they're very athletic players
they're
across
only
the board.
one of a couple of teams that had 80-plus guys,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So I think that's what the Lions were looking for. They were looking for
Let's get analysis.
Yeah.
That's why we bring him here.
Folks, there's a reason why I listen to Al when we talk sports, because Al will tell you about Kevon Looney's high school tape. That's what Al brings to the table. You name a random player, he's going to tell you where they went to school, tell you all about them, and that's why I love him for college stuff. And he's pretty good with the pro stuff too, respectfully to Al.
Good.
We'll wrap up. We'll finish the third-round pick, and then we'll move on to the NFL draft as a whole. Broderick Martin. I have no idea. He went to some super obscure like D3 school, so Al has probably watched like hundreds of hours of his tape. Al, tell me why this guy had a 6th round grade and we picked him in the 3rd round, please.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I think he went to Western Kentucky, I think.
That's
Yeah,
what
he
his
did.
school was.
And they gave up 3 later round picks for him.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Even to be honest, my dad read me the pick, and I was like, "Who?"
And there's a lot of smart people saying like I'd never heard of this guy, so that's why I was a little afraid. But look, it's a late 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
They want a Vince Warfolk type
Vince who?
run. Wolfolk?
Nope.
Will Fork.
Thank you, Al.
Wolfork?
Thank you, Al. We're gonna get Al. Al for sure. Like he
Al
actually
can be my translator. You know what? Like Deo is very helpful calling in sometimes. I might keep you on as my
Standby.
Well, I can have a couple of executive
Al,
producers.
Al
coming
is
on.
my friend. Just putting that like Al is Team Isaac with all due respect, right, buddy? Right,
Team
Al?
Tal Nation.
Oh, Team Tal Nation.
Yes.
Till the end.
Okay, I have no more thoughts on the lines here. Look, I am in the. I'll finish up and then I'll let you guys go. I'm in the trust Holmes camp. There are some issues here with some positional value stuff, but all in all, Holmes is a lot smarter than me. The War Room's a lot smarter than me, so I'm just gonna trust these guys. Al, thoughts?
I think that's fair to say too. I think, like, especially after last year's draft, I don't think it's fair to, jump on Holmes with the success that this team's had in the past 2 years and the potential that this team has. I don't think it's fair to, and these players haven't even played yet, so we don't know how they're going to perform. Overall, I think it's just a kind of waiting game to see how it ends up.
Tal?
In Brad, we trust.
Yes, and Brad, we trust, but not blind trust. It's like measured, and
proven.
that's
Yeah.
what we're doing,
Yeah.
and it is proven. Now we'll talk briefly about the NFL draft as a whole. Al, you're a Bryce Young guy, I think. Do you want to tell the
Yeah.
people a little bit about your, the top 5 picks or so?
So Bryce Young, for me, it wasn't even close. He's the best player in the class. Not Will Anderson was right there too. Bryce Young, I watched a lot of Alabama. The guy was a game breaker. He was only 5'10".
5'10".
On a good day.
Yeah. The guy made plays, like especially against LSU and Tennessee. Like he lost against Tennessee and he put up 45 points. It was not his fault. He puts throws in the breadbasket where like he makes throws that no one else can make, not even CJ Stroud. And even though despite his size, he made plays, and that's why I think there was no other option to take at 1 than Bryce Young.
Okay, I rock with it.
I don't think there's debate about that, but tell us about Stroud, because I don't have a lot of faith in Stroud.
I don't either, but I'm
on the
biased.
next level.
A lot of people call him Coldridge Stroud because he couldn't play in the cold. The guy, I don't know why he chose Ohio State out of all places. He grew up in California and he chose Ohio State to play.
I can tell you why.
Bank.
They paid him more than anybody else.
Bank.
Just putting that out there.
100%. But I'm just
That's what my insider said too.
he could have got that money anywhere else. No, like USC, they pay players.
USC does pay a fair amount.
Well, I think now they pay more, right? Just
Yeah.
well, now.
Just Amadeo just chimed in.
Yep.
Bank.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thanks, Dale.
Keep going about Stroud.
He's probably the best pocket passer in the class, I'd say. It's just he lacks athleticism at size, and he has improved over the past 2 years at Ohio State. Especially he put that on display in the Georgia game. The Georgia game, he was fantastic.
Yeah, that was cool. I remember watching that. I'm like, this guy actually might be good.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal passer. It's just I don't know. He lacks mental strength to me. Like
100%. We broke him. As Michigan fans, we know that he lacks mental strength. With all due respect,
exactly. He crumbled down the stretch against Michigan, especially the second time around.
Yeah, he
at
cried.
home.
He cried.
Yeah.
Well, I'm okay if he cried like after the game.
Anything during
else?
the game.
Okay, Anthony Richardson. You're not a Richardson guy.
No.
Big one. Went 4 to the Colts. Where are you at?
Poor Colts. They keep
Yeah,
trying to get
I
quarterbacks.
know. They're just on a QB carousel right now. It's 1 year it's Matt Ryan. Anyways, Anthony Richardson, he's definitely the biggest boom or bust in this draft. He has the highest ceiling. I have no
But
problem.
low floor.
Yeah, very low floor. He had it was like a 70% completion percentage for 5-yard passes. That is awful.
Yeah.
He has a strong arm and freakish athleticism.
But no touch.
But yeah, he lacks touch, and I don't know if that's something that he can improve so quickly for a team like Indianapolis. I don't know.
And the thing is, the Colts they can win that division. They're terrible. Or sorry, that division is awful. That's
Yeah.
not my phone ring. I think that's Al's. Yeah. Look, so we'll talk briefly
Why is Al allowed to keep his phone, but I'm not allowed to keep my phone?
because Al's my friend, bro.
TV timeout. Isaac always takes my phone. He say, "Hey, can I see your phone?" And then he throws it in the ditch.
Okay, it's because you go on it. I have receipts, dude. I will go back and find tape of you going on your phone. So
But
respectfully,
I get inside information from Team Town Nation all the time. They keep me up to date.
okay. Do we talk about Will Levis here very briefly?
He sucks.
He sucks.
Oh man, okay. Sorry, Will. I don't know.
Sorry, Will.
Sorry, Will.
I'm not sure if you're a fan of the show, but you're probably not anymore.
Good. I will just wrap up. I don't know a ton about draft grades and which team did good, but all I know is I think the Eagles had a really good draft, and I don't know if they're the NFC favorite right now. I don't know if it's San Francisco. I know Detroit is up there. I don't see a world where Philly doesn't win the NFC if they stay healthy. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
comments you can finish up. You've got more information here.
Sure.
I focus on Green Bay, Chicago, and Minnesota because those are where we can get 6 wins. And none of those teams had really great drafts. Chicago traded back. They got some guys. Sure, they did pick up a couple of decent guys, but I don't think they picked up game breakers at all. So I'm happy with the fact that the NFC overall is down, which means that Philly's still good, San Fran's still good, but Detroit's right there.
Detroit
right
low
there.
key might be third.
Yeah,
right there.
I love all the good young quarterbacks in the league that are awesome. Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Hebert. You know what I love? Herbert.
Dude.
Herbert.
That one wasn't even hard.
That wasn't even hard.
It
But you know what I love
happens.
more?
They're all
They're in the
AFC.
AFC.
Yeah, and I
If
think
we lose them in the Super Bowl, I'm down with that.
yeah, I can't complain about that. We haven't won a playoff game since I was
No.
Yeah.
Never.
1991 maybe?
with Barry. I think it was. That's,
Yeah, Barry. Yeah, Eric Kramer's the quarterback.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly.
Respect for the Eric Kramer. Yeah, look, I want the Lions to be good. Do we all think they're winning the division? I'm a little skeptical.
Yes, I
I-
still think they win the division.
I would bet
10 and
money
7.
that they win the division.
10-7. I can rock with 10-7.
Yeah.
Okay, so NBA first round. I'll kick things off, and then I'll let you guys jump in here. So the first round finished. There are a few jerseys hanging behind us. We will talk about him soon. I'm going to let these guys run with Kings Warriors Game 7, Game 6, talk about what they want to do, because that was awesome. And then I'll jump in here and there, but I'm just going to save up for Jimmy, okay? So, Al, you want to start talking about Kings Warriors and why
you
this
please
is
do, and
awesome?
I'll add on.
Okay, go ahead.
So the Kings Warriors, I am a Warriors hater. I cannot stand them, and I really wanted them to lose. I cannot stand the Warriors. I'm just sick of
Because of green.
them.
Why?
I'm just sick of
Because Curry owns LeBron.
no. That is
Oh,
not
that's
true.
that's relevant. Yeah.
That's
relevant.
not true.
Keep
Anyways,
going, Al.
So the Kings, you can see that they had no playoff experience because they absolutely crumbled down the stretch. They had Game 7 at home, and they couldn't make shots. They didn't look like they had the heart or the effort. Kevon Looney basically sunned Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis, he made him look like a scrub. Sabonis is soft. He couldn't grab a rebound in the third quarter. It's like, I don't know what happened to Sacramento, but Golden State, obviously, with their championship pedigree, they showed that they've been in this situation way too many times for Sacramento to hang with them.
Tal, go ahead.
Okay, so Curry obviously,
And
50 points, the most points ever in Game 7. Here's the thing. Obviously, this playoff run will help determine Steph's legacy. But I think now it's okay to start talking about the fact that he's nudging into the top 10 players of all time.
He was 10 maybe last year after the
Yeah,
championship.
so now what we do is we've got to say, okay, who's the best point guard of all time? Magic Johnson.
Still Magic, right?
Still Magic.
Yeah.
But Curry's in the neighborhood, right? So he was always known as the best shooter in history, right? The best shooter in history. Now he's added weight. He's the second best finisher in the NBA after Kyrie Irving. Like Game 7, he did not hit it with long distance.
No, he
drive after drive. He broke him down off the dribble, took some fouls, righty, lefty, scoops, English. He was awesome. So much fun to watch. Still the most exciting player in basketball.
100%.
I'm going to agree with you. There was a stretch where I thought maybe Ja could have been that guy, but he's a convict, so no, it's going to be Curry.
Too much baggage, and I don't think he's going to put in the work.
And I don't want to... Actually, sorry, that was enough, Memphis. That was 10 seconds too much of Memphis talk. I don't want to talk with them. Sorry, Dylan Brooks.
Agreed.
Jordan Poole, we should address this as Michigan fans. He looked horrendous this series, and in Game 7, he had 19 awful minutes.
Yeah.
Just like Game 7 especially, where it was either a turnover or a bad shot, and he's going to be the worst defender on the court most of the time. So that was a little unfortunate. No Kuminga. I would have liked to see him get some run. I feel like this Lakers series actually might be good for him. With the length.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's all I've got here. Look, like Terrence Davis got a lot of run. Davion Mitchell didn't get a lot of run in 7. I will briefly talk about my viewing experience. I was away this weekend with some buddies, and we were all going for Sacramento, and we're all watching this game. And then as the game started to unfold, it was like are we just going to be rooting for Curry? Because we're all rooting for Sacramento, but
Nobody dislikes Curry.
No.
I can understand how Green annoys you, and
Klay Thompson, I can't stand.
Yeah,
He's a
Klay
punk.
does talk. If like, okay, we know you won 4 rings, but Steph Curry won 4 rings,
Yeah.
and you were carrying his bag.
Yeah.
Like you're not even Scottie Pippen.
Okay, respect.
And I like Klay, but he's not all that. He's not him.
No, he is not.
Curry
He
is
not.
him. I've worked it into my lingo quite well. I used it at work the other day. Nobody knew what I was talking about.
Okay, they're probably not listening to the show then, respectfully. The Kings, I am rooting for them. They do have to make some changes for sure. There's some, right, like Harrison Barnes started in Game 7. He played 13 minutes, and I couldn't even tell he was
Oh, they
there.
need a 4.
God, he is awful.
What about Collins? Atlanta's been trying to trade him forever.
John Collins
I don't know
in
if he
Sacramento.
fits. I don't
Yeah.
know if he fits.
Interesting. Sacramento, they
need
have
a guy.
They have some assets they can go after. Kind of Keegan Murray's minutes were up and down, but overall, I think I liked what I saw from him this
I think so.
series.
He's a rook.
This is a
Yeah.
tough series for Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
Curry just kept scoring. It was a lot of fun. Curry's the man, and that's
Golden
what beat the
State beat
Lakers.
Sacramento with their second best player in the series being
Kevon Looney.
agreed.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay. Great job, Kings Warriors. Cavs Knicks. I'll let you guys talk about this for a minute.
To be honest with you, I didn't watch the Cavs and Knicks as much as I should have. I know, like, those are two hard-nosed, well, Knicks more so, two good teams. I know Julius Randle, he was a little hobbled throughout that series, but Jalen Brunson absolutely proved me wrong.
He was awesome, and him and Mitch were spectacular.
Jalen Brunson, because when he left Dallas, I wasn't too bothered about it. I was like, okay, he's a good player, but he's not that guy. He is that guy.
Yep.
Is he him, Tal?
He's him.
He is him.
I agree. He's him.
He
Maybe not against Jimmy, but that's a whole separate conversation.
We're not going to Jimmy. Are we?
Not yet.
No,
Not yet.
Not yet.
Isaac's excited to talk about Jimmy.
I'm really excited
He's
about
shaking.
Jimmy. Sorry. Cavs Knicks. So Game 5, I was in the house. Went to Cleveland. Day trip to Cleveland. First of all, respect to the Cleveland fans. Just hilarious. It was so fun talking to them. Very passionate. Very drunk. It was just awesome. It was so funny to be around them.
Well, Cincinnati, similar.
Yep.
Ohio.
And the OHIO chants are stupid, but whatever. Respect to the land. That's they refer to it as the land, which I rock with.
Okay, didn't know that.
This is really tough hoops. This is 90s hoops, right? Like
Yeah.
how we talked about this last episode, where it was just like, this is what I didn't get to watch. So it was nice to have Cavs Knicks here.
shout out Josh Hart.
Offensive rebounds. Can't shoot.
He's a game
but
changer.
He gets a lot of
No, he
offensive
is a
rebounds.
game
He's
changer.
like Tucker, just skinnier.
Okay, I'm mad at Josh Hart, and we'll talk about why later. Can I go on Heat Bucks now?
Yeah.
Yeah, go nuts.
Okay, so I've got a lot of notes about Heat Bucks. You guys just like chime in, and I'll just do my best to stay composed.
The mic's yours for a moment.
Okay.
I might even go let the... Shout out to Annabelle and Lou for making a lot of noise in the background.
These are our dogs who you hear. Okay, so Heat Bucks. Bucks are the 8 seed. Sorry, Bucks are the 1 seed. Heat are the 8 seed and barely the 8 seed. Like, weren't far off from missing the playoffs after losing the first play-in game. So the Bucks, they're the best team in the NBA. They have the best player in the NBA. They have 3 Defensive Player of the Year candidates. That's a fact, respectfully. That's true. And they're playing this awful Miami Heat team. Okay? Giannis has got this back injury. Tal's left. I'm not sure where he is. Giannis has this back injury. So I don't know if you remember this, but in game, it would have been 4, he was nursing this back injury. So when he was on the bench, he wasn't sitting. He was standing, so his back didn't tighten up. That is probably the most intimidating thing I've ever seen on a basketball court. When you look over and Giannis is just standing the whole time on the bench while everyone else, right? Like his brother and everyone is just sitting next to him. So Giannis mowing dudes over like the whole series. Freight train, some of it good, some of it bad. Man, he is tough, and I do really like Giannis, and it was tough to root against Giannis. Yeah. So Milwaukee, they started 2 7-footers as they do, and Miami is essentially starting 6'7" Jimmy Butler at power forward. Okay, Miami did all sorts of goofy defensive maneuvers. Tal is back. I haven't even talked about Jimmy yet. I'm just kind of setting the stage still. So game 4, Jimmy Butler had 56 points on 68% from the field and 78% true shooting with 1 turnover.
Ridiculous.
Okay. Which doesn't get nearly enough attention considering he's got the ball in his hands so much.
He had 22 points in the first quarter, 22 I think of the team's 28, and then he had 21 in the fourth quarter. He was so out of gas in that second quarter. He only had 2 points. If you watch the game, he was dead after the first quarter. Like, he was barely holding on. Can you pick her up before she walks all over the place, Tal? Because I don't love this play here, but that's fine. So, the second highest scoring player in Game 4 of Heat Bucks was Bam Adebayo, who had 15 points on 16 shots. Okay? The second most minutes on Miami that day was Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson had 9 points and 4 rebounds. So that just kind of lays out the help that Jimmy had on this team. The Heat enter the fourth quarter down 11 points. They start the fourth quarter with Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin, and Cody Zeller. That's how they started the fourth quarter. I'm serious. That's how they started the fourth quarter against this awesome Bucks team. 8 minutes, 11 seconds. Jimmy checks back into the game. Okay?
Yep, keep going.
They're down 11. He proceeds to outscore Milwaukee by himself 22-16. He scores 22. Milwaukee scores 16 points from that point on. Jimmy Butler got whatever he wanted on Drew Holiday's head. Drew Holiday was voted the best defender in the NBA by NBA players. This is what they said. They said Drew Holiday, and everyone was like, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler owned him. And he let him know, and we'll talk about Game 5 soon. 3 dudes scored more points in a playoff game. Tal, do you know who the 3 were?
Michael Jordan for sure.
At the Garden.
Yeah.
I think Dame went off once.
I think he had like 55. He wasn't more.
Yeah, double nickel.
D. Mitch had 57.
D. Mitch.
And Elgin Baylor had 61.
I don't think it would have come up with Elgin Baylor. That's a good question.
So Jimmy on D is guarding Drew and switching on Giannis whenever he can, and was the primary guy on Giannis down the stretch.
So awesome.
So that wraps up Game 4. Do you guys want to jump in on any Game 4 56-point jam talk?
Keep rolling.
Okay,
Yeah,
respect.
you covered it all.
Okay. Game 5. They're a 13-point underdog. Miami's a 13-point underdog going to Milwaukee with a hobbled Jimmy. Keep in mind, Jay Crowder sprained his knee earlier when he tugged on his knee. People aren't talking about that nearly enough. And he had a bruised glute. Jimmy had a bruised glute. It's probably,
I get those sometimes.
yeah, it's probably still bruised. Jimmy Butler had 42 points, and the shot at the end of regulation to send it to overtime, which, like, to say it's a miracle is like it's more than that. I'm not sure what that is called. It was more than that.
Shout out Gabe Vincent for the pass, though, too.
Thank you,
Phenomenal
thank you,
pass.
Gabe Vincent. So this ridiculous alley-oop to send it to overtime. They're down like 8 with 6 minutes to go, and Jimmy Butler is screaming. Like, he looks psychotic. He's just screaming at Drew Holiday, "I own you, 38 on your head." Like, he's pointing at the score and pointing at Drew Holiday's head. I've never seen this in my life.
This
I've
is
never
why they're
seen
still
this.
losing.
They're down 8. He's doing this. Then they're down 6, and he's still doing it. Then they're down 3, and he's still doing it. And he just keeps going. Then at the end of the game, him and Drew Holiday are hugging and they're still boys.
Yeah.
Which is just, that's like when you watch a
like an
UFC
MMA fight.
When you watch a UFC fight and they just beat the crap out of each other and they're buddies.
Yeah.
Drew and Jimmy were just talking crap and they're still buddies. I will wrap up with this. The tip in that Jimmy had to send it to overtime, that play was not designed for Jimmy. I don't know if you guys heard about this.
I did hear about this.
I didn't.
It was
Actually.
not
That's
designed
awesome.
for Jimmy. And there's watch Spo's press conference, and he said, this is Spo's quote. He looked me dead in the eye, and he just said, no, let me be that guy. That's what Jimmy said to...
Well, the play initially was not designed for him to take the shot.
Correct. And this is Hoosiers in the huddle, and Jimmy Chitwood saying, what'd he say, Tal?
I'll make it.
I'll make it. And Jimmy's like, give me the shot. I'm that guy. He's him, bro.
He is him.
So Jimmy, he averaged 38, 6, 5, and 2 on 60% from the field, all on Drew Holiday and Giannis Antetokounmpo's respective heads.
Even Brook Lopez protecting the rim.
True.
Like, whenever he got Brook or Middleton on a switch, it was just a bucket. It was every single time it was a bucket. That's all I got on Jimmy. I'm a big fan of his. He continues to prove me right. I'll let you guys talk. That's my heat check there. Thank you to Jimmy Butler for letting me witness this. Thanks, Jimmy.
He is honestly like he isn't talked enough much. Like, people don't talk about how close he is to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant in terms of his mentality. Not saying skill or anything like that.
Or skill, too, if you want, bro.
No. Let's not go that far. Okay. But in terms of Mamba mentality, how everyone wants to be like Jason, like Jason Tatum wants to be like him and Devin Booker. No, it's Jimmy Butler. He has that killer mentality. He's the type of guy to say, give me the ball and get out of my way, and I will win us this game.
Tal, go ahead.
Jimmy's the man. He's him. That's all I got. You covered it well.
Thank you. So
Shut up,
I was,
kid.
I had time and was like, do I want to prep more about why Will Levis fell, or do I just want to watch Jimmy Butler highlights for 15 minutes? And I chose to just watch more Jimmy.
Fair enough.
And watch him pick apart this Bucks team. This is, in a lot of ways, it's more impressive than what he did against the Lakers in the bubble. In a lot of ways, it is. Thank you, Jimmy. That's all I got on the first round. We can talk briefly about Suns Nuggets as we transition to the second round here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Al, you can kick things off.
So, I think this series is over, to be honest. I can't count out the Suns just because of the players they have, but the Nuggets just seem to own them.
4 good players, right?
Yeah, Ayton.
I'll talk about that
Ayton,
afterwards. Okay,
CP3,
you go ahead.
Okay.
KD, and Book. Ayton is one of the most soft centers in the league.
Tal, go ahead. Tal,
right
you have
now?
an 8 bit. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I got to go on here.
Go
So
ahead.
KD is awesome. Book is awesome. Here's the problem. Those guys don't hit enough three-pointers. They don't take enough three-pointers. They don't hit enough three-pointers. But they're both great players. So they are, when Phoenix made the trade, they recognized, okay, we're going to go all in, and we're going to have 4 guys and a bunch of others. So they're dependent on Paul, Book, KD, and Ayton. Here's the problem. CP3 is just old and injured and doesn't have it anymore. And Ayton is a pussy.
Yeah.
He's a 7-foot-tall, 245-pound pussy. If you haven't seen the highlight where there's like 4 offensive rebounds in a row, and he's sucking his thumb completely out of the play.
He's out of bounds.
I don't understand. Like, somebody give him the Rudy speech. I'm 5'0", 100 nothing. I don't have a speck of athletic ability. But in the last game of Monday Night Basketball, I had it last night.
Dude, you were like 3 for 8.
In that last game, I was good. I had a hook shot,
Okay.
a fadeaway, and a three-pointer.
It's okay. Yeah, it's not like I did anything on the other end.
Oh, you scored the last 4 points to win. We were against each other last night, but
It's enough. That's enough.
that's enough Monday night
Get
talk.
Any more Ayton
but
discussion?
just have some balls.
Yeah, and you know what? He calls himself dominating. That's the funny part.
I
Have you
remember
seen
that.
that?
So
He
dumb.
calls himself dominating. Who called you that? Your grandma? Like, you are not dominating in any sense.
True.
Jokic gave him 38 last night, and Jokic looked half asleep.
Dude, don't. So I'll. Do you have any more on Ayton, Dad?
No, I have no more. I just, since I'm finishing this thing here, Nuggets are just going to kill the Suns, and that's okay. But this is going to give them a huge advantage because their series is going to be over, and the Lakers and Warriors are going to be like 1-1, maybe 2-1 Warriors.
I agree. Yeah, the rest
Huge
element is
advantage.
big. We'll talk about Jokic. So Suns Nuggets. It's not as entertaining as it should be.
No.
Al and I were talking a little last night during Game 2, and we're like, this really isn't that entertaining of a game. It was just like, it was low scoring, and it wasn't like good like Cavs Knicks low scoring. It was just bad low scoring.
Yeah.
Just like poor shot selection, poor shot making. And you talk about Jokic. So Jokic dropped like 38 and 15 or whatever. and like barely tried. Like I saw him sweat. I think
didn't
once.
see him sweat. if he sweat, it's just because he's overweight. He didn't run like.
He was lean for a while. Now he's not anymore.
Yeah,
he's eating donuts.
But I mean, he's given 8 in the work. He's given dominating the work. And let me say this: if Phoenix doesn't succeed in terms of winning an NBA title, this might be also one of the worst trades in NBA history. Or one of the biggest failures.
No, you're
As a
100%.
team,
You gave up
big failure
Mikal
for
Bridges,
sure.
Cam Johnson, all those picks just for Kevin Durant, and you tell me you can't even make it out of the second round?
Well, I said after the trade, like when you give all of that up,
You're going to win.
You better win it.
Minnesota.
1.5 championships is the over/under.
Yeah.
See, the problem is, no matter how bad the KD trade is,
Yeah,
it's only going to
Gobert.
be half as bad as Gobert.
That's
like,
fair.
Yeah, any quarterback contract in the NFL, it's like, at least it's not the Deshaun Watson contract.
But
Correct.
it could be worse just because of the expectations that Phoenix has. They once they got KD, the minute they got him, they were
listed
the
them-
favorites.
Yep, everybody put them as the favorite.
Great
So-
input. That's excellent job, Al. Okay.
Okay.
Celts Sixers.
Oh.
Talk about this. I will just say I'm shocked that the Sixers took game 1 without Embiid. Shocked.
Celtics have the most talent left, and I don't think there's a really close second to them left in the playoffs of the 8 teams left.
Yeah, you're
but
right.
here's what they don't have. They don't have the Mamba mentality. They don't have heart. They let Philly, without Embiid, beat them. Honestly, they should have won by more or less. Harden hit a big shot,
Yeah.
but Boston made way too many mistakes. Harden, I give him credit, stepped up because the last time Harden has had a good playoff game was 2012.
Yeah, well, like, the
Really?
thing is, if you look at his playoff numbers, every now and then it's like, he scored 40. Oh, they were down 3-1 and the series is basically done. And they were rested, and the other team was rested. Like, that's kind of how his big playoff games go.
So again, here's the general thought on this series: meniscus.
Okay, elaborate.
Yeah, we don't want death, but we want some meniscus tears. We want some shredding of some ligaments.
You know Marcus Smart's going to run around and he'll bang up a few people.
He's
Like,
going
that's
to
just
bang
gonna
somebody
happen.
up. Yeah,
PJ
him
Tucker,
and Maxey. Yeah,
PJ Tucker's already punched Tatum in the balls once, and that's probably going to happen
was
a couple more
brutal.
times. And it wasn't like actually.
Actually, I missed that.
It's so clearly a punch to the balls.
Backhanded him. Oh my
Yeah, like
goodness.
it's terrible. That's enough on like Celtics Sixers.
I just want to say, if Boston had one of their best shooting games of the season last night, and if they can't pull out a win after shooting that good at home, I don't know how you can win without Embiid too.
I don't know.
Tatum
a weird
shot
game.
like 60%. He has never done that in his life.
Yeah, you're right. It was a very weird game. We'll keep
Warriors,
going.
Lakers. So you're still a big LeBron fan,
Of course.
okay?
I'll let Al run.
What's
with
your
the
analysis here?
Warriors.
The matchups, me and Chuz were talking about this. The matchups are very interesting just because Steph Curry is a mismatch in terms of like
Anybody?
him on offense. Yeah, no one can guard him, obviously. But
Who are they going to match up with him?
I don't know. That we were talking about that. Maybe it's
Vanderbilt,
Vanderbilt.
I
don't know.
expect
If,
Vanderbilt to start. the
yeah,
game.
he has a great motor. They might put Reeves and Schroeder on him because they're pests on defense
So
too.
who's LeBron going to guard?
Wiggins?
Excellent question.
I
Is he
think
gonna guard
guards
Wiggins?
They don't put Wiggins on the ball that much. He's a lot spot up or he's chasing offensive rebounds.
Because I think Curry is going to hunt LeBron.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Oh
Really,
my
it makes
God.
sense.
And LeBron's going to hunt Curry, and Curry's
Yeah.
actually.
See, I think LeBron is probably guarding Green.
See, I thought about that, but the issue with that is, now that you brought this up, we get a little nerdy here. Golden State's offense runs through Draymond.
yeah.
Yep.
So you're going to put LeBron on ball defense on the perimeter a lot.
No,
And
I
gonna
think
have to work.
he's gonna step back and let
Draymond shoot.
yes.
and
I
guard
mean-
him like the Ben Simmons, just kind of totally sag
Yep,
off
that's
and
that's
just,
my
String
thought.
in.
and just
Yeah.
get rebounds.
Yep.
That might happen. That's not bad. I look forward to seeing what they do with LeBron. Go ahead, Al.
The biggest X factor in this series is Anthony Davis. He's probably the biggest X factor in every series.
Yep.
Because when he wants to be,
He
is
can
a
be
top
hit
five.
for sure.
Yeah, he's
Defensively, anything close to the bucket is like nope.
to be fair to him, he has been excellent every game in this playoffs.
Yeah, yes.
Defensively, it's just
Yeah.
offensively. Sometimes he doesn't even look like he wants to be there, and it's like, dude, you
He's a
have
little
Xavier
like
Tillman.
Tatum
on.
when it comes to that.
Yeah, and I think. Like he averaged 5 blocks last series against Memphis. Like
He was so good defensively
He's a
against
game
Memphis.
breaker defensively. It's just they need it on offense too because he is that good.
Yep.
I'll jump in briefly here. You talked about the defensive matchups, which I appreciate, because that's probably obviously the Curry-LeBron thing. But like what both teams will have to do defensively is going to be so much fun to see, and it'll be a coaching battle. And if it comes down to Kerr versus Ham, I'm going to be picking Kerr. Just putting that out there.
Agreed.
My take. Here's one thing that people aren't talking about that I just want to throw out there and keep in the back of your mind. What did the Warriors do at the deadline? Can somebody tell me?
Gary Payton.
And that's it. That's it. They got Gary Payton. They
got rid of Wiseman.
Should have got Sadiq Bey or OG Anunoby.
That would have made that would have been a lot of fun. Or Jimmy, but that's okay. So the Warriors didn't do much. What did the Lakers do?
Oh,
The whole team?
The whole team, yeah.
So you've got the Lakers, who part of it is they got this new team, but they mortgaged all of their future to get AD, and then they mortgaged even more of their future to do what they did at the deadline, and they had a wonderful deadline. And you got this Warriors team that did this goofy 2 timeline thing, which I want to say is not working, but Curry 50 points in Game 7, like it is working. Curry is carrying.
He trumps previous errors.
Yeah, that's a great take. So you got 2 teams that kind of did opposite things at the deadline, and I really, really look forward to watch. I don't look forward to every commercial break showing the celebrities every 4 minutes. I don't care about that. But this is going to be a great series.
There's also a couple commercials that they seem to consistently show. We're not going to talk about them.
Yeah. Okay, that's enough.
I have a question for you both. There's
Okay.
been a fair amount of discussion on shows lately. The top seeds picking your opponent in the first round. So if you're Denver,
Okay.
who are you picking? Right? Because you get to pick. Like, okay, I'm going to... Yeah, for sure, I'm going to pick Minnesota. That would have been easy. But then after second round, who are they picking?
So, okay, are you asking us
like
if,
every round they get to choose who they play.
Exactly. Or if somehow the 6th seed is a poop team, they're like, I'm going to pick that team.
if you're the Nuggets and you have to choose between Suns, Warriors, and Lakers, respectfully, I think you're probably choosing the Lakers.
I think so.
But like, I don't want to choose LeBron. That's not something that I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to put that in his head, but I also don't want to put that in Curry's head.
Well, what they're doing is they're trying to avoid some of this strategic losing thing, and that's one of the ways to combat it.
Is it bad that I'm kind of pro strategic losing? That's a whole different argument, but like I think that's fun. I kind of like that.
Controversial.
I don't know.
is, and I
well,
get
and
it.
there's a lot of discussion about tanking, and once you get to a certain tank level, you actually get some points for winning when you're in that last tank. Have you heard that?
Yeah, or they have a big game to determine like who gets what seed and whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
interesting.
Any more on Lakers Warriors other than I'm really excited?
No,
Oh, I can't wait for
the
tonight.
Knicks are playing a certain team from Miami.
Okay, I don't want to talk about this one too much because I'm going to be a little sad because you called him Josh Hart. I call him Josh Fart. So Josh Fart flopped and he took out Jimmy's ankle. If you watch it, that's how Jimmy broke his ankle.
I didn't really. Yeah, but you're right.
So go back and watch it. Josh Hart is flailing and takes Jimmy's legs from under him, and it could have been worse. And that's why Jimmy's playing on a bum ankle.
But it was also a bit of a freak.
No, are you
He
disrespecting Jimmy?
He didn't know that he was taking out Jimmy.
Come on,
but just
Gibbs,
the
I know
fact
you're a
that he
Butler
does those
guy, but-
flop things all the time.
I talked to Josh Fart, and he said he did it on purpose. I
Okay.
talked to him.
Okay, regardless of what he did to Jimmy or didn't do, whatever, you can't deny that he's a
dude.
player that you want to have on your team.
He's the best rebounding guard in basketball, and he's so good
Yeah, him or
defensively.
Russell Westbrook, yeah.
And he's the perfect Nick.
Yeah, he is. He embodies that whole culture.
Yeah, he does.
But I have to hate him this series. But I loved him last series, and I loved him at the end of the regular season. But I have to hate him
Did
now.
you see his breads? He had the Knicks logo.
So cool. They love him in
That's
New York.
awesome.
Look, the Heat are the slight favorites to win the series. They're probably going to lose. Sorry, they are going to get spanked game 2 without Jimmy. I really look forward to the Cody Zeller minutes tonight. It's going to be a tough game without Jimmy.
What about Hightower?
Haywood, Haywood Highsmith.
Or Hightower. Look, this
Hightower
is,
from Police Academy.
Might as well call him that.
Mitch is going to beat Bam up on the boards. You've got like the corpse of Jimmy and
you
whatever
know what?
he's going
Knicks
to
are
bring.
going to ease up. The game's going to be closer than you think.
I hope Miami wins the series, but beating the best player in basketball and doing what Jimmy did those last 2 games was enough for me to be
Yeah.
happy for the rest of the summer. So I'm going to be happy with what Jimmy gave me, and anything else is a cherry on top.
For those 4 fans that are still listening, remember to go onto our YouTube channel and comment on episode number 100. Dorian Anzelin, who's got great comments so far.
He's the front runner.
Yeah, Uncle Reno is a close second. It's competitive. So comment, because we want to see your comments. And even if you're posting on Instagram, just say it's YouTube.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
That's how it works. They're connected.
Okay, Al, do you have anything else before we wrap up?
Lakers in 5. No,
Whoa!
not 5, 7.
Okay.
Okay, for doing this, I'll go Warriors in 6 is where I've landed.
Oh, I got Dubs in 6 as well.
Yeah, just copy me
No,
respectfully.
somebody asked me today at work.
Okay, anything else? Tal.
Shout out to our fans for the support. We appreciate you. Love you, fans. Shout out to our dogs for the background noise tonight. Annabelle, we're with you. Lou, it was actually pretty good behavior. Sweet Lou, nice job.
Okay, those are dogs. Have a good night, everybody, and go Jimmy Butler. See you guys.
See ya.